Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, that's
I
better.
apologize. I was in a bad area. I apologize for that. Yeah, I know you're in Las Vegas, right? Because I used to live there for 16 years, so the 702 always rings a bell for me.
Uh-huh. Well,
I actually,
I lived there 10 years as well, and I just never changed my phone number, but no.
oh, okay. Are you still living in Las Vegas, or you just travel there back and forth?
No, no, actually, I just moved back to Mexico from San Diego, but anyway.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, okay, okay. I lived there. I moved from Las Vegas to El Paso in 2019. It's night and day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
16 years was enough for me. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this place. I wasn't even happy the last year. I just wanted to finish my contract and get out of there. But thank you for taking my call. The reason why I'm calling is this. I'm gonna be right up front with you. Okay, I could help you sell your house faster and get you probably more money than you could on your own. Now, I'm going to be upfront. I'm not an agent, okay? And I understand how most sellers feel about agents. I felt the same way one time, but what I found out is there's some really great agents. My job was to work hard and find the right agents that specialize in selling properties, not listing properties, which is a big difference. Does that make sense? And I train some of them. I actually work with top real estate agents in Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Las Cruces, El Paso. So I work with top agents that have really good experience in producing results. Because I'm a producer. I like to produce, right? So what happens is I have an agent here, and I'm actually in Las Cruces right now with my client who's an agent. She's been in real estate. She's 81 years old. She's been in real estate for 33 years. She's not giving it up. She's been involved in over 700 successful real estate transactions. They all haven't been easy, right? Real estate is never easy, but she got the job done. And more importantly, she did commercial land deals and things like that, which are very complicated. And the sellers were happy because they got paid, and then the buyers are happy because they bought a good properties, right? So we can do the same for you if you're open-minded, that we could share with you, the strategy we use to help you get a quick sale, especially with this economic conditions, with interest rates high, inflation accelerating, people losing their jobs, using credit cards to pay off debt or to live, and businesses going down, a lot of foreclosures. So the timing has to be right. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Now here's the thing. I'm an investor as well, and I deal with a lot of investors, right? So what happens is most buy. Let's say somebody wants to buy the house as a personal residence, right? What I've learned is that most buyers, if the seller doesn't have an agent, the buyers are not comfortable doing business with them. Why? The only thing I could think of speaking with them is legal purposes, right? They're just not comfortable, right? What happens with sellers, and this is just my experience, I spoke with maybe close to 1,000 for sale by owners nationwide the last 6, 7 months. And the thing is, sellers want to save money on future commission, right? Which I get. It means you make a little more money. But what I realized was is that sellers doing an agent's job, which is a difficult, right? And what happens is most agents don't even know what the hell they're doing.
yeah,
It blows my mind. Like, what do you do? Well, I'm a real estate agent. What the hell does that mean? Can you
yeah.
sell and close a deal for the seller and get them paid faster than they could? They can't answer that. So I was on a journey to develop that. So what's happening is this lady, like I said, she's 81 years old, 33 years in real estate, but she was a real estate attorney for 10 years, and she was on the real estate commission here in Las Cruces for 5 years. So she has experience beyond comprehension. So
Right.
at the end of the day, what you want to do is really work with an agent that they're professional, like a doctor or an attorney, that they have the skill and the experience to get the job done. And that's what we do, right? So I understand that you increased it by $10,000 in August. What are you asking for it right now, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, well, okay. So it's kind of a long story.
That's
We
okay.
had it go in 2008. We lived between here and Cali for a few years.
Okay.
And then we ended up renting it out. It was rented out for like 11 and a half years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They just moved out, I guess about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
It needs a lot more work than we thought it was going to need.
Okay.
So it's being like basically completely renovated.
Okay.
And just in the very beginning stages.
Okay.
We haven't decided yet if we're going to actually continue to try to sell it on our own or
Yep.
back in.
No, I understand.
We have another property here that needs even more work than that one, and we were thinking that we might, once that one's done, move in there for a little while this one's under construction,
Okay.
so we have to deal with that.
Right.
But also, we had spoke to somebody
What
months
just
ago, maybe June, maybe before that, about that we were going to attempt to do for sale by owner. A million years ago, I was a broker in Vegas.
okay?
So, I know how
It's different mindsets though, different things. Yeah.
no, yeah, but so we had discussed with an agent already that we were going to try to sell for sale by owner. Then if it didn't work out, we got sick of doing that, and we were talking. We didn't sign anything. It was a verbal agreement, but we have kind of, talked to somebody. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay.
The renovation is in very early stages, but we're basically doing everything.
Okay. Okay.
Paint, floor,
Right.
the exterior,
Okay.
cabinets.
Right.
everything.
Okay. Hey, may I make a suggestion objectively? Because like I said, I deal with many agents. I actually train real estate agents. I have a program called How to Become More Than an Agent. And what happens is most agents don't understand that being an agent is once you get the contract is the back end stuff. It's the paperwork, the shuffle, and dealing, basically being a psychologist, right? But before you get a contract, right, you have to do the selling up front and get value, offer value, why you're different than any other agent. So that's what I teach. That's what I do. I'm actually going to get my license, like I said, not only in New Mexico, but in Texas, because I have a lot of clients that I train, and I trained a real estate agents. So I said, why not just do it? I'm better than them anyway, right? Because I'm teaching them. You know what I mean? But all the legal stuff is what really messes up a lot of this, because you're worrying more about lawsuits because of this and that. Instead of giving value to people, you're more focused. You have the fear of producing a sale. What if I get sued and I can't afford, So I try to make it very simple. I would love the opportunity to earn your relationship and show you a simple proven strategy to help you sell the house, quicker than you could, even while you're in construction, even while you're doing rehab. Because here's what investors are looking for: opportunities like that, especially if it was cash flowing. How much were you generating a month, if you don't mind me asking, for your property that you were renting out?
Nothing. It was my sister and her family.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Oh, okay.
Whatever mortgage is, and that's what they pay.
Oh, okay. So they were just paying your mortgage, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still owe on it?
We do.
Okay. What do you owe, if you don't mind me asking, ballpark?
Oh, 134,000, I think.
Okay, 134,000. Okay. Is that a first or a second or a combination of both?
Nope, that's just the first
That's just the
mortgage,
first?
and our other property in Massachusetts, there's no mortgage on
No
it.
mortgage?
It's been
Okay.
a family forever.
Okay. And what is your last name? Is Audrey, Audria? Is that correct?
No, my name is Andrea.
Oh, Andrea. I'm sorry. Wow, I'm so bad.
No,
Please forgive me. Uh,
Zandria.
Zandrea?
Z-A. It's Zondria.
Oh, Zondria?
Yes.
Oh, that's unique. I've never heard of that.
Thank you.
Zandria. Wow, that's awesome. What's your last name, if you don't mind me asking?
Sealy.
Ceee?
No, Sealy. Seely.
Seluy. See, I'm bad. Sely?
Ley.
Oh, Ley. Okay, got it. I apologize. So at the end of the day, I would love the opportunity to do a couple things. You're not obligated. Listen, I like to earn business. I like to earn relationships. Because if I have something of value, true value, and people see it, they either want to pay for it or they don't, right? And one of the things I look at is I'm a very strong exit strategy. So what happens is we will never call a seller unless we have a true exit potential buy. And I say potential because for legal purposes, I can't commit to something because I'm not a real estate agent. But
Right.
I cold call. This is what I do. So one of the things I teach agents is always have an exit strategy first that's very solid. So when you get a seller and you go after the properties that they're looking for, it makes it easier, more effective transactions where the buyer and the seller are both on the same page. And what I do is I help eliminate a lot of what I call the unnecessary roughness. If you follow what I'm saying, there's things that you don't have to go through. That sellers don't have to go through. So what happens with sellers is they don't realize, and you are an agent, so you can relate with it. What sellers don't realize is that they're trying to be an agent because that's a full-time gig and it's not easy, especially now, trying to get the right buyer with interest rates and all that. So we have strategies to do that. And with this agent who's been doing it for 33 years, this is nothing for her. This is what she does. This is what she creates. She asked me to call, and so I would love the opportunity to do a couple of things. Maybe set up an appointment. We could do a walkthrough, look at it. Maybe have her speak with you and let her explain the different options she can offer you. Not just one pricing, but different strategy based on certain things. The type of commission she will offer you, right, based on the value. Because one of the things that I do personally, and I teach agents to do, is you have to make it incentivized for the seller, especially if they don't know if you really could do it, right? Because sometimes sellers hire agents just because of the name, let's say Keller Williams or Remax. So they're really buying those companies, but they don't really know what the agent could do, right? Because you just don't. So I tell the agents, you got to tell people what your experience is and what you could do. So there's options with commission. Now that would be up to her. I'm just saying, is this a strategy that they're learning to apply? So let's say it sells 30 days or less, right? There could be a high commission for you because you got your money quicker than later. If it's 30 to 45 days, it could be a less commission. And then anything past 45 to 60 days could be even less, or there could be a lower commission with paying for the marketing costs and the staging. That way there's a real deal happening because now both parties have skin in the game and the agent has to perform. If not, they either pay for the marketing or the seller does. So there are strategies to make it more valuable for both parties, not just commission, but how do you get this deal done, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, the agent that we did it at Tech, he said he'd do 4%. So I gotta tell you, I'm pretty happy with that.
I,
You know,
No, I understand. And one of the things I don't like to talk about, and this is just me, is talk about commission. And I'll tell you why. Because now people making decisions based on the commission versus the value. So let's say you agree to 4%, right? And because you're looking to save money, but let's say they don't sell it for 90 days. Now your property value goes down. You're probably frustrated. You don't get no offer. And what happens is you got what you didn't pay for, which is 4%. Now, let's say you have somebody that charges 8%. Let's just say hypothetically, you're like, man, 8%, that shit is crazy, right? But what if they sell it in a week or 2 weeks? And now you actually get a little bit more than what you could do on your own without all the hassles. Well, you got to look at opportunity cost value. I look at value. I'm willing to pay for value, even if I take a loss, because you're not always going to profit on all real estate transactions because that's just the way it is. But you have to cut your losses while you can. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying is that's reality, and that's how I go about looking at a property. So I don't like to talk about commission because I can't because I'm not an agent. But when I do private deals with banks and investors, I could make up to 15, 20% on a deal. If I want to sell a mobile home here in Las Cruces, I don't need a license to do that. I charge 18 to 20% and I get it. I take all the liability. So it comes down to value. Do you want the professional that's going to get this done quick, that's been involved in over 700 successful transactions, or someone that's going to charge you less? You don't know what they're going to do. And then if it's out there 90 days or 60 days, the value of the property is not going to go up in this condition. It's going to go down. Also, how do you get the right buyers to go into your house and give you a contract? the buyer's agent has to know how to sell, right? Some of the buyer's agents don't know what the hell they're doing, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I saw. Right.
Somebody that would do all of this work on their own, but we're beyond that point now. So there's a few houses in the same neighborhood and some had everything completely redone, some only had a few things redone. And you know, they sold from between 380 and like 4. So
Right.
That was our price if we didn't have to do anything.
Right. I got you. I got you. So, well, here's the thing: is that's not necessarily true because it's all about targeting the right buyer. See, I deal with investors, and they tell me what they like. So, okay, here, they have the glove now; they need the hand, right? So there may be an investor that may want to say, "Hey, I want to rehab it, do this. You know, let's do this price. You know, because people with cash is what you really want to deal with, and the fact that it could be considered a cash flow property because you had a tenant basically in there, happened to be a sister, but they were paying your mortgage. But technically, you could sell this two ways for a project that just needs to fix, put some money into it, and flip it, or you can fix it and get a renter. So there's two ways to leverage that. Again, it's all depends how you get the buyer. I don't enter a deal unless I know I have a golden parachute or an exit strategy. Most agents don't talk about this stuff. Why?
Why sell it without doing anything to it? Because we're already well into doing many things to it. They've already been done, things have been ordered. Like they're already working on it.
Right. Okay. So what I would like to do, if it's okay with you, Andrea, right? Zandra. Did I get it right? Zandria. I'm bad with me. I apologize. Please forgive me on that. Zandria. Okay, I got it now. I got it. Okay, so what I would like to do is just have you meet with me, and her name is Jody Hooper. Okay, she's absolutely phenomenal. She's 4 feet 9, weighs maybe like 110, 150. She's got the energy of a 25-year-old person, and she considers me her son. I mean, she's been my client for a year. But she's very energetic. She has a lot of experience. We're actually looking at a commercial deal down here. And we would like to, meet with you, do a walkthrough, look at it, talk with you, look, and then put some strategy together. You never know when the best deals come. When you least expect it, what I've learned is if I keep an open mind, I know decisions, I know how to make decisions. You'd be surprised. That's it. And if you say, I like you guys, and you see we could take a lot of burden off of you where you don't have to deal with it and still potentially sell it, that's not a bad thing, right? If you don't have to spend money to fix it and somebody can come in and take over and let's say give you the price that you want, that's not a bad situation in my view. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that's the case. All I'm saying is I solve sales problems. That's what I do for a living. As long as I know the cause and I know the problems or the situation, I always figure out a real solution to provide the end result. And it's really that simple. There may not be anything I could do, but I believe if I know the facts, I could figure out ways because I understand the buyers I deal with. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah. Well, would there be an opportunity to meet with you? Because I'm actually right here I'm in the Loman atrium, right there on Loman Street. Are you familiar? Yeah, because Salado is right there. I would love the opportunity to set up a time. I don't know if you're there right now or you have somebody that could show. We could go there, look at it. I would like to set up a conference call between me, you, and Miss Hooper, just so you could get to meet her, get to know her, and then that way at least you could have one agent here, one agent there, and look at it from having all the facts, and then make a decision. What's more valuable to me? Is it my time? Is it money? Do I want to deal with this? Do I want the right agent? That way at least you have two apples to choose from. That's all. Does that make sense?
What was
My name is Paul Cruz, PAULCRUZ.
I think I'll hang on to your information because what we're considering doing now, I think I mentioned this earlier, I may not have talked to you today, but I think we're going to move back into it, at least temporarily, once all the work is done. So,
what about the other property?
The other, side, no, we're not doing that. We are going to sell it, and I'll just hang on to your information because Oh, I totally give somebody a shot. So,
Okay. Well, what about the other property? You want to sell that one?
gosh,
What's wrong with it?
50 something years. No,
What's wrong with it? Oh, you're not selling it? You said you were getting out of that one to sell that one and get on this one, no?
this one to renovate this one as well. So what we're thinking about doing is the property that you called me about, is already in the process of being completely renovated. So probably as we speak.
Okay.
And once that's done, I think like we're basically making it like we're
I got you. Okay. Okay. Okay.
so we're going back into that house. Oh, well, I haven't looked at 10, I
Okay.
think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Back in there for about this property like 8.5. With my grandfather that it was live under mine,
Oh, okay.
and it's an 8.5. It's like I'm sure you're familiar with the Concho Hills area.
Yeah.
Like in that area.
Oh, okay. Now, one of the things I look when I went on the internet, there's a person named Dale Marshall that's on there. Is that your dad?
That's on what?
Dale Marshall? Does that name ring a bell?
No.
Okay, because when I was looking and doing my research, it had Dale Marshall as an owner, and then when I call, and you try to call back, I saw it was your name, right? So I'm like,
Dale Marshall on which on what property?
4759 Solado Creek.
No.
Okay.
No, and as a matter of fact, I'm not even on that property. That I mean, I would be once it's paid off, but that my husband is financing that.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So now the tenant that used to live there, his name was Dan, but not Dale.
Okay. Well, that's what happened. That's why I always trust and verify because information on the internet, if you don't know how to really verify, that's why when I call the number and I listen to the voicemail, I hear the name, or when they call back, then I do process of elimination. If it doesn't show on public record, then I figure out other ways to find the owner's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and there was no. We had that house built, so there was never.
Oh, did you? Okay, so then that's an internet problem. Okay. All right, so let me see if I understand this. You're not selling it right now. You're actually in the process of fixing it up. You're gonna move in there.
Well,
And
no, we haven't decided yet. We
oh,
are renovating it either way. So right now it's just me. It's the door is just me
okay.
that.
On a scale of on a scale of 1 to 10, not emotional, just logical. On a scale of 1 to 10, are you leaning more towards moving in, or you want to rehab and then maybe get a higher price?
If you had asked me that a couple days ago, I would have said for something. But right now, just because how much work this other property needs, I'm not leaning more moving in.
So
But we don't know if it would be 2 months, a year, 2 years.
I got you. I got you. So why didn't you call me a couple of days ago when you're ready to say you're gonna sell it? Then I would have. Well, you did call me. You just didn't leave a message. I was like, she did.
I've been getting tons of calls from real estate agents, and
Right.
when I called and it was a business answering machine that picked up, I was like I got some calls about actually buying it, and I've had some offers from investors. The last one was 300,000. I think that was a terrible offer, but wasn't taking it. So, but yeah, so we just we're just
I
we
understand.
are selling it absolutely for sure. Now it's just about
Okay. So
to be honest, I'd rather be there than living in construction zone.
no, of course, no, I get it. So here's what I would like to. I hope I've given you enough value that you could, mull over. That I could at least have a true opportunity of earning your relationship, so that I could show you and be part of my opportunity, strategy to help you sell your home quicker. Because it's all about strategy for me. And here's one thing I will say: this is I eat, I breathe, I live what I do. People ask me, "Do you work?" I said, "No." Because when you love what you do, it's not work, right? And I know that what I always wind up doing is solving sales problems, because at the end, without sales, you don't have anything anyway, right? So, the also thing that I focus on is time. I make sure that I don't waste people's time, that they don't waste my time, that I'm giving value, because this time we have right now, we can never get it back. And I have one shot to earn your relationship, and you have one opportunity, just one. Just like I have one shot, you have one opportunity to be part of my proven strategy that can help you sell your house quicker than you could on your own, regardless if you're rehabbing it or you get it fixed. So I would love that opportunity to help you be on your team to help you sell it with the agent that I have here.
Well, why don't you either text me your information or just call
Yeah,
back
yeah.
like in a month or so, like
Okay.
to just
Okay, fair enough.
revisit.
Do you have an email address? I want to email you my information, what we do, along with Miss Jody. That way you could, do your own due diligence and look at it. And then I'll follow with you in the next month or so and see where your mindset is. Is that fair enough?
Sure.
Okay, what's your email?
BIR.
Fair enough. Let me give you my name and number just to have. I'm gonna email it to you, but when you write it, it gets more personal. So I want you to be a little more personal. You say, I remember that guy.
Yeah, can you text it to me? I don't know. Sorry, you're right.
Okay, I'll do that. And listen, I do appreciate your time. I look forward to hopefully, earning your relationship. And even if we don't, you don't pull the trigger, at least you know what you're saying no to. And who knows, maybe in the future, if you decide to sell the other property, we can help you with that. Does that make sense? Okay?
Absolutely.
Listen, I appreciate it. Have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, you too.
Bye. Well, that was a cold call. And she called me several times. She never left a message. But until I speak with someone and they either tell me yes or no, I won't stop. And I have to make sure I give a full presentation before I move on with it. Why? Because I have something of value to offer, and they need to feel it, they need to taste it, they need to embrace it, they need to know. Even if they say no, that's a good pipeline. I believe my client will get that. That's what I believe. Does that make sense? And if I didn't have anything of value to offer, why would they stay on the phone for so long? I asked her name like 3 or 4 different times. I'm bad with names, but she was still patient enough to really give me her name the right way. That's a skill. That's selling. Being able to make a mistake but still overcome it. How? Like being on a Broadway show on the stage. It's live. There's no rehearsal. You slip and fall. You either make it look like part of the show and get a standing ovation, or you act like it really hurts, or even though it's hurting and you can't fake it, right? And you get booed off the stage. That's what just happened there. Does that make sense? Hope that was helpful. Talk to you later.